and gentlemen, live from the famous ACME Comedy Hollywood, it's Hollywood Stands Up, Comedy Nightcap. Starring Pete D'Alessandro, Scott DOOLEY, Bobby MAIDT, Jessica Michelle Singleton, Sarah TIANA, Ian TINDELL, Jeremiah WATKINS, WENDELL, music by MAIDT, and your host, Josh PAGET. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Josh PAGET.
Yeah! How's it going? Welcome to the Comedy Nightcap, everyone. How you doing? Is everyone good? You survived? You dry? My name is Josh PAGET. I'm your host. Give it up for MAIDT, the boys in the band. Fantastic. Every week in New Medley. Every week, guys, I promise you. Come back next week. It's just as awesome. I gotta tell you, I want to know that, thanks for coming out so much. We have a wonderful show. I got wonderful comics, male and female. I want to know how many of you rode your bicycle here. Anyone? Woo! I'm the only one. Well, I ride my bicycle a lot around Los Angeles. I guess I'm the only one, but I recommend it because it's good. It's good for the environment. It's good for the economy, you know, gas prices, and it's good exercise, obviously. But the one thing that is missing, the one downside to renting a bicycle in Los Angeles, is there is no car horn. So when I see attractive young ladies, such as yourselves, walking down the sidewalk, I cannot demonstrate my appreciation for your physical beauty by utilizing my car horn. Instead, I have to yell, "Hot! You're hot! I think you're hot!" Riding a bicycle, wearing a backpack and a helmet, I'm totally sweaty like a glazed ham. I think you're hot. Hop on my pegs and we'll pedal off into the sunset. All good romances start on a bicycle. I just lied to all of you. I didn't ride my bicycle here. Take that, audience rapport. I didn't ride my bicycle here because my bicycle was stolen. Yeah, what kind of a person steals someone's bicycle? It's a thief who's environmentally conscious but socially a dick. Right? It's like, I want my children to grow up to appreciate the glaciers and the rainforest. But this guy in his 10-speed, screw him, yoink. He's taking life too fast. He needs to slow down, stop and smell the roses. Him and his 10 speeds. What's he need all those speeds for? One time, I had my bicycle stolen by the bus. I put my bike on the bus, and then it left without me. There goes options A and B. What do you do at that point? You get to call the bus customer service hotline. There's a customer service hotline for the bus. And I imagine you guys have probably called the customer service hotline before, but this is a customer service hotline for people who ride the bus. You can imagine the level of friendly helpfulness that is just coming across on the phone line. They said, oh, you can pick up your bike in 3 to 5 days downtown at the Metro Customer Service Center headquarters, conveniently located now that we have your one form of transportation downtown. They said, in 3 to 5 days. It'll take them 3 to 5 days. What? 3 to 5 days? Really? I said to them in an imaginary conversation I had with them after I hung up the phone. 3 to 5 days? What takes you 3 to 5 days? Like, moving around the city is all you do. You spend all day driving around the city in large bore vehicles. I've done half the work for you. I put my bike on the bus. All you have to do is drive home. Go home, bus people. Does anybody else here take the bus? Probably not. I know you don't take the bus because you are civilized people who have learned how to trade goods and services for money so that you can show up to places like fine comedy shows like this and not be sweaty or smelly. I have failed both counts. But if you ride the bus, I recommend that you ride the bus just as like an antidepressant. If you're feeling down on your life, for $1.50 you can get on the bus, and then just get off one stop later, just one stop, one block, and then you can say to yourself, I never have to do this ever again. You'll feel real good. You'll feel real good about your life. And then you'll notice this. There's one thing on the bus that always surprises me whenever I take the bus anywhere. No matter what bus it is, this happens universal. There is graffiti on the bus. I'll say that again because it bears repeating. There is graffiti on the bus. That means that there's a gang out there that wants you to know they ride the bus. What gang is like, that's right, we ride the 212. The 212 to the 134. That's our territory. That's our turf. And we'll throw down anytime, anywhere till 11:56. That's the last bus back to the... Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic comedy show. I already alluded to it. Our first comic is a lovely young comedian. She's been on Last Comic Standing. Please welcome her here to Acme, Ruby Wendell.
Hello. Is it working? Hello. I've never performed here. All right. Are we in? Is everything happening the way it's supposed to happen? Okay. Thank God they're streaming this. So, you guys, I had sort of an interesting experience. I saw this homeless guy today, and he was pushing a stroller, and it was depressing. It kind of broke my heart because his baby looked exactly like garbage. It's just really sad. Thank you. Does anybody text? Anybody text here? Oh, good. Then you'll relate to this one. I have a really bad habit of using tons and tons of exclamation points. Whenever I text, I just throw them all in there, just crazy like. And I realized like, if I actually sounded the way that I texted, I would sound like this. Hey, it was really great to see you. I love spending time with you. You're my favorite person in the world. I adore you. You're so fun. You got a great smile. So I'm like, seriously, Ruby, you have got to edit this down. Like, you don't need so many exclamation points. But then when I started getting rid of all of them, I was like, wow, this makes me sound more like this. Hey, it was really great to see you. I really love spending time with you. Every time I see you, I just feel great. Please don't leave me. I'm all alone in the world. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Question, does anybody know how to take an IMDb credit off? Because it's not making me look so good, that skid marks credit. I don't need that. I really don't. I quit waiting tables, you guys. I'd like applause. Yes, thank you. Skid marks made me a lot of money. No. No, I quit waiting tables, so because I really, I got to the point where I had been doing it for so long that I hated people. So now I work with children, which is great. But waiting tables did have a couple good qualities. It was really flexible in order to get to my auditions. I'm a professional auditioner. I don't book anything ever, but I definitely go out a lot. And so I get stressed because I have to figure out, what am I going to do with the kid, Am I just going to leave this kid in the car? Is she going to tell her mom, that I didn't roll the windows up or down or whatever? It's just really stressful, And I had an audition the other day, and I was 40 minutes late because I had to figure out, if I could leave the kid on the sidewalk or whatever. And I got there, and I walked in, and I was really upset because I was just so late. But I tried really hard to nail my one line, and I tried to connect to it, but it was really hard. I walked in there, and I was just like, can I get you guys anything else? That was my one line. Thank you. That's a new bit I'm trying to work on. Shouldn't do it for the streaming. Do you guys ever talk to your friends about them hooking up with people and stuff? Because I do that a lot. My friend was telling me how she she was hooking up with this guy, and it got to that point where it was getting that awkward moment where she's like, do you have anything? Do you have something? Do you have anything? And he was like, yeah. And he brought out a Magnum condom. And she was excited. She was like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah. And then she realized, like, oh, when he was putting it on, he could have been totally fine with a regular sized condom. He didn't need a Magnum condom. Like, it wasn't whatever. But they did it anyway, and surprise, surprise, it fell off inside her. I know. And she didn't find it for like a couple days. But I don't judge her, even though it's like, why did it take you so long to find that? You know, I don't judge her, though. I actually, like, really don't understand, like, the guy. Like, why would you lie about something that you're about to be found out for? Like, you're in the middle of the act where you're about, like, you don't think she's going to notice that your penis is too small for a Magnum condom? Like, it's ridiculous. To me, that would be like, okay, that would be like if somebody was at the scene of an accident, you know, and somebody yelled out, is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? And you jump up and you wave your arms and you're like, I'm a doctor. You're not a doctor. And you run over to the victim and you kneel down and you whip out your tiny penis and put a Magnum condom on it. It's just ridiculous. Who would do that? Thank you. So I'm trying to think of what I want to. Oh, so I also ran into another homeless guy, you guys, and he was chatting me up, asking me what I'm doing out here, and I'm like, well, I'm an actress. I don't know why I was talking to him. I guess I was a little lonely. And he's like, oh yeah, have I seen you in anything? And I was like, maybe. I've done a couple national commercials, a couple independent films, and then I realized that I was lying to a homeless man. I was building myself up to a homeless person. Now, it's bad enough when you do it to, like, your aunts and uncles or your fat friend from high school. This was a man that was, you know, had toilet paper wrapped around his head, you know. I don't know. He was not the Democrat guy I should be worried about, but I blew him anyway because he said he knew people. It didn't really work out. Do you guys have neighbors? This is going to be my last joke. Anybody have neighbors? Okay, and then I'm leaving. I have neighbors that have this really annoying habit of throwing cans out the window, and it, like, always hits the patio and makes this really loud, jarring noise, like clank, 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 clank. And it kind of drives me crazy because I'll be doing my makeup, and I'll be like, oh, that's how I do my makeup. And then I like clank, 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 and I just started yelling things like no or annoying, hoping that they'll correlate me yelling with, you know, the cans. But I realized I yell things all the time, like Yahtzee or not on my face. So, all right, you guys, I'm Ruby Wendell. Have a great rest of your night.
Ruby Wendell, ladies and gentlemen, Ruby Wendell. I've had similar encounters with homeless people. I think we all had. I tell them I'm a stand-up comic, and they're like, oh, who's your favorite comedian? That's what they want to know. Who's your favorite comedian? I say Brian Regan. And they're like, I've never heard of him. You must not be any good. You must not be good at stand-up comedy because I've never heard of your favorite stand-up comedian. I was like, no, I'm not good at stand-up comedy because, well, this right now. But I say, well, that's not fair. Who's your favorite stand-up comedian? And then he says his favorite stand-up comedian is Johnny Peanut. That's his favorite. And I was like, well, see, there you go. I haven't heard of yours. You haven't heard of mine. And he's like, you haven't heard of Johnny Peanut? You haven't heard of Johnny Peanut? He's the best comedian in the world. I was like, I don't know who judges that. I don't think that that's a real thing. No, it is. He won the Super Bowl of comedy. Again, not real. That is not a real thing. I don't know. Johnny Peanut doesn't sound, well, it sounds like a comedian. I don't know what else he would do with a name like Johnny Peanut, but I think that it's very marginal that he is real. No, he won. He was on ABC. All the other comedians voted him the best comedian of the year, 2010. That's not real. ABC doesn't have that kind of programming. Why am I engaging? Here's your food. Merry Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comedian comes all the way from Australia, and he has been touring the United States, and he stopped into Acme. Please welcome Scott DOOLEY.
Hello, how are you? How good's Kevin Smith looking? Can we just recognize that for a second? Fucking hell. Southwestern's not going to kick him off a flight anymore, are they? He can fit. He can fucking fit. How are you? How's this? I like this deal here. 3 of you. eHarmony fucked someone over, didn't they? That's happened. Fellas, how are you? You good? You boys going well? Look at you. You got a beard. You look like a real man. You look like the kind of guy that just talks about Tim Tebow and fucking crashes beer cans. That's good. I can't do that. I'm not much of a man. Not like dick wise. Like that's like I've got to like that's. It's not great, but it's serviceable. Like it gets the job done quite quickly. I'm told. So that's good. But that wouldn't be a problem for you. Fuck, you could pleasure women. Look at you with that beard. You're virile, and you talk about cars as well, wouldn't you? You're that kind of a guy. I can't talk about cars. I can't be, because I've always been taught if you're going to talk about something, you should know about it. And I know so little about cars that when I talk about it, I just sound like I've got autism. You know, like, so when people are just saying, oh man, it's a fully bought out 350 big block, but if you get it on the dyno tune, you could squeeze an extra 12 kilowatts out. What do you reckon? The car is red and has leather seats and smells like leather, and it once drove to Burbank in 22 minutes. Yeah. People with autism are funny. I am Australian, so you are meant to be hearing this voice. Like when I started talking, sir, you looked like you thought you were having a stroke. like you did have a look like, fucking hell, what are the symptoms? Taste copper, hear Australian accents, fuck! You're not having a stroke. That's my public service announcement. It's just me. You're not having a stroke. The more you know. That's me. That's all I do. This would be a terrible time for you to have a stroke, though, because I would think, man, that guy's committing to my joke. Look at him go. You know? I go, everyone in LA is an amazing actor. How does he make that side of his face droopy? And, you know, you'd be like, help. But you're not. That's good. That is very good. I do like America. I like it. I'm traveling here by myself. I'm learning a lot. I've learned that when I am telling people my tourist plans, they sound like rapist plans. So, and single girls don't like that. So I've been doing stuff like I was talking to a girl the other day, and I said, hey, the park, do the police go there at night? And she misread that. She misread that. But I do find that tourists sound like rapists a lot. Like I said the other day, I said, man, it's a nice day. I'm just going to go and hang out at the university. I've never been inside a sorority house, and people misread that. A lot of American girls wear whistles, I've noticed. I always think about like how sorry I'd feel for a rapist if his fetish was girls blowing whistles. Like he would never get anything done. I am learning stuff though. I'm starting to get the hang of America. Like you guys just get it because you've all been born here, you live here. Like I now know how dangerous an area is based solely on how aggressively shops are prepared to tell me they will buy gold. Like if you walk for like 6 blocks and no shop is prepared to buy gold, you're in a nice area. But if you just see it scrawled in bad handwriting with Sharpie on like cardboard, like we buy gold, and it's just shoved in the window of a video store, you're about to get stabbed, sir. That's how that, and it fucked me up, I'm not gonna lie. It was weird to come to a place, to a country, in a year that starts with a 2 and see people are still just trading gold on the street. It was, I just thought, it's not racist enough to be 1860. And then someone came and asked me for my mobile phone, and they took it because I was getting mugged. And it was no good. A bit like the end of that joke. So what else is going on in the news? Have you seen the latest political scandal you guys are going through at the moment? This is deadly serious. Google this, right? Get out your smartphone, Google it. Mitt Romney is currently plagued with allegations that he was caught publicly masturbating on a balcony in Connecticut today. That was happening today. Go inside, Mitt. Like, come on. At least Clinton had a girl, you know, that's all I'm saying. You know, like, if you're going to cut it down party lines. I was on the train the other day because I hate being on time, but I love the smell of urine. So I was there, and there was this kid who was about 13 or 14 years old, and he was talking on a mobile phone, cell phone, madam, and he was talking on his cell phone, and just all of a sudden, really loudly, he stood up and he goes, "Oh, if I had boobs, I'd send you a picture of them," and just hung up. And I thought to myself, man, times have changed. Like, I think back to when I was 13 or 14. My mother would have killed me for talking to her that way. But this kid, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next comedian has been performing all over the country. He's also performing. Not a performing artist. He is a published author. There's a difference between writing and performing. I'm still learning. The next comedian is performing next month at the Laughing Devil Comedy Festival. Please welcome him here to ACME, Pete D'Alessandro.
Thanks. Give it up for Josh. He's a hell of a writer, isn't he? I don't know if that was a knock on me. I wasn't sure how to take that. That's cool. I love doing stand-up because stand-up is great because as comedians, we learn by bombing. I'm fine with that. Like, if you want to get better at this, try failing miserably. All right, I'm fine with that part of it, but I'm tired of people coming up to me after my shows being like, "Pete, it looks like you really learned a lot tonight up there." I didn't actually think it went that bad. No, trust me, you learned hard. All right, I'm still having a little trouble with comedy terminology. I've been doing this a while, but I had a great show a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to say I killed, but like, I raped and pillaged. I always like to do one early rape joke, warm everybody up. It's really a way to win the audience over. It's really cool, but every comedian you'll ever see has had a joke stolen from them at some point. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just sit there and watch someone else do your material. So I'm going to segue into someone else's bit. When I first moved to LA, I thought stand-up was the way to go. You know, I thought this would make me some money. My first year in comedy, I made $60 the whole year. Yeah, I was one of the 10 wealthiest comics in America. It was rough. And then I tried to become a bartender, and I thought, you know, Hollywood, people were like, "Pete, this is Hollywood. You're not really good looking enough to be a bartender." So I became a comic. And then people were like, "You know, Pete, you're kind of too good looking to be a comic." Works better if there's fewer comics here. That's all right. I know why I haven't gotten farther in stand-up. I know why this hasn't gone anywhere. I know what separates me from the best comedians. My parents loved me. Absolutely loved me. Nothing ruins your stand-up career like a happy childhood. Entertainment in general, really not a good way to start out. And then I'm happily married. My wife loves me. She's really good to me. So that sucks. Not a lot of material coming out of that, that's for sure. Not a lot of gold. We're supposed to share personal stories from our lives. I'm happily married. I had a happy childhood, and I don't do drugs. This is not a gold mine for stories. I had one thing happen. I went to the ER a while ago, and I was told that my life was in danger. And as a guy, as a macho guy, at least for the purposes of this joke, I'm a macho guy. But you seriously, you hear that and you get a little scared. But if it comes from an infection in your right nut, you get religious. I don't have another way to tell you where that was. I've tried a lot of things. They're all just more disgusting. So I do that one for you guys. So I went through this whole ordeal, and I saw my doctor, and I'm going like, do you think this looks serious? Is this something I really need to take care of? Do I need to go to the hospital? He's like, yeah, you know, hospital might be a good idea, or at least my office. Trader Joe's is a terrible place to talk about this. I'm not equipped here. I did have to go to the ER, so I'm in the ER, and I'm hyper aware of what's going on around me. There's this one dude hooked up to a respirator, and I know what the guy's thinking when he sees me. He's like, man, I would give my right nut to be you right now. And I'm like, man, I would give my right lung just to know my right nut's okay. So I hardly ever play with this shit. Not important to me on a daily basis. And then, here's the deal. When your right nut is in danger, you have to get an ultrasound on your balls. So someone has to look in my balls. Who's going to do this but the hottest porno hot nurse I have ever seen? This is the kind of woman I would have loved to expose myself to any other day of the year. But here, I'm feeling a little emasculated. I feel really shitty. And she says, sir, it's okay, just relax, disrobe, lay back, and lay your penis up on your abdomen. I'm scared shitless. It's 40 degrees in here. I'm wearing a paper-thin hospital gown. My penis can't lay on anything. You're lucky to come back in here, and I have a vagina. And she called it a penis. Of all the words you could have used, something that you have to whine to say right, penis. That does not make you feel sexy as a man. You don't want to hear that. That is not a good term. Ladies, don't use that in bed. Penis is not the right word. Guys, if we had made up some other way to describe our junk, and we have plenty of real names, but like, why not replace penis officially? Think of all the other words we could have used that would have sounded so much better. Like, oh, he just took a fastball to his Excalibur. Oh, you hate to see that. That would make more sense to me. I'd get behind that. I'd feel that. Doc, I'm having a little issue with the old dragon tank. That sounds better. It's got some mass to it, some weight, you know, like shuttlecock. That's from badminton. How can that possibly sound? Never mind. Is your girl ever on top of you and she does that thing where she moves the wrong way and then she bends it a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your penis? No, but you hurt my pride when you called it a penis. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, but I've really learned a lot. So thank you very much.
Pete D'Alessandro, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't making fun of him. I would never make fun of him. You saw him. You saw me. I think that you know how that would end. Ladies and gentlemen, next comedian, you've seen her on Showtime, if you have a fancy cable channel. If you don't, maybe you've seen her on Reno 911, or you might have seen her on Match.com or eHarmony.com. Please welcome Sarah TIANA.
Wow. Hi, everybody. Yes, you've seen me on Match.com and eHarmony if you're prowling the internet. I've been on many a website. I am single or undateable, whatever you want to classify it as. I'm in my 30s now, and I'm still single. So in Los Angeles, I'm a commodity, but in the South, where I'm from, I'm a lesbian. The math is different there. I should wear less tennis shoes. But all my friends are getting married now, which is great. But as soon as one of your friends gets married, what do they immediately say to you, right, ladies? You know what you should do, Sarah? You should get married. You should get married. Like, I'm just turning down proposals left and right? Like, I'm like, no hot guy at Starbucks. I'm not ready. I'm not. Like, I'm whenever you're dating, they always use these references, right? They're always like, with the ocean. They're like, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. There's plentyoffish.com. Just cast a wider net. Get yourself a bottom feeder, you know, or, you know. He fell for hook, line, and sinker. And I'm like, well, you know, I can't really use those references when a guy goes down on me. When we're single, all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. And I'm like, well, maybe, you know, we shouldn't use those references for dating, you know. Or maybe we can. Maybe we can say the ocean is like dating and marriage is like outer space. Because to me, it's like dark. There's no one around. I can't breathe. Gravity is my enemy, you know. The only person I end up wanting to talk to is in Houston. You have to take some sort of shuttle to get there. And by the end, anything good is light years away, and you finally give up and you come back to Earth, and where do you land? Right back in the ocean, right? Only to find out you've lost funding. You have no other option. I think the biggest problem is that there are just too many options in the world, right? Like, we just have too much going on. Like the world is full of way too much shit, right? Like, think about when you go to a restaurant. Say you go to like the Cheesecake Factory. There's like 40 pages on the menu, and you never leave happy because there are too many choices. You're like, well, I should have had the chowder. Tina had the chowder, and she looks really happy, you know. But when you go to In-N-Out, you always leave happy because there's one thing. You can't make the wrong choice. You had one choice, and you always leave like, that's the best burger ever. I'm probably going to move here. I'm thinking of moving here. They have nice bathrooms, and the people are cool. And there's a place to park my car, you know. Or if you think about cell phones, like Apple made one phone, and they made it awesome. Sprint didn't do that shit. They made 80 pieces of crap, right? And they're like, most of them don't even text. The flip phones don't even open, you know. They're like, oh, you wanted to check your email? Well, you shouldn't have got this phone. That was a bad choice. You know? Or if you think about television, like television in the 60s and the 70s, it used to be great because there were 3 networks, and all the minds focused on these 3 networks. So all the programming was awesome. Andy Griffith, Golden Girl, everything was great, right? Now, not anymore, right? We got 400 channels, and I got to watch swamp people swap wives. And I'm interested. I'm like, I hope Jethro and the Queen fucking make it. You know, and that's why I feel like dating is really similar. Like, the 7 billionth person was just born. 7 billion. That's a lot of people, right? I just, back in my great-grandparents' day, you dated within a 1-mile radius, right? And you called on, there were no phones. You had 2 options that were even your age in town. You're like, well, there's Sheila, and she has a limp. But she makes the best apple cobbler I've ever had. I'm probably going to love her forever. Or there's my cousin. You know? Those were your choices. But now, we got speed dating and Match.com, eHarmony, Plenty of Milk, whatever people are doing. And every time I sit down with someone, I'm like, I could probably meet somebody without a scar. I could probably do that. Like, I'm not trying to be shallow, but I got a lot of options. I don't know. It's really fucked up. I know. I did get myself a fuck buddy recently. I know. Thank you. You don't. It's all right. If you don't know what a fuck buddy is, it is a friend with benefits. All right, about once a week. I like to think. I hope. And not like he doesn't have like health insurance or anything, but like the benefit is that like I feel like I need health insurance when we're done. Like that's why I go over there. And it's been great, and it's been awesome. But the other morning, I was leaving his house like a gentleman. I stayed the night because I'm a gentleman. And I was putting on my high heels to leave because I got dressed up for him. I'm a gentleman. And he says to me, oh, it's going to be so cute to see you do the walk of shame out of here. Right? I was like, I am not ashamed of what I didn't hear. Why would you say that? Walk of shame? No. I can be ashamed if I leave the movie Puss in Boots with like a smile on my face. I can be ashamed of that. No. If I leave Claim Jumper and I'm hungry, I'll shoot myself. I'll do that. If I vote Republican and I'm proud of it, I'll hang myself in an alley for America. But I got you off twice, and I didn't get anything on my dress, so I'll hold my head up high. Thank you very much. I'll just walk into Starbucks. I'm already dressed for work. People think I'm a go-getter. I love you guys. I'm Sarah Tiana. Thank you.
Twice with nothing on her dress. That's on her related skills on her resume, folks. I don't know if you've ever tried speed dating. Anyone else ever tried speed dating? I have. It wasn't like a program, but it just wound up being that way. She was like, goodbye. Like, that's fantastic. She ordered first and ate, and then she left. That's how it works. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comedian, you've probably seen him all over town riding his bicycle. Please welcome him here to Acme, Bobby MAIDT.
All right. Hey, everybody. All right. I'm Bobby. Guys, I was born and raised in a really small town with an incredibly indecisive elected official. His name is May or May Not. Thanks. I don't know, guys. I mean, you seem like nice folks. You know, we're all friends here. We could be. I have just one other friend who's not a comic. He's actually much better than one of us. He's an eye doctor. He's really into his work, though, like to the point where he has a tattoo of a vision chart right beneath his belly button so he can still give an eye exam while he's getting a blowjob. Is that better? Or worse? Better? Or worse? Now? Or now? But when he's done, he does like to make sure that all of his patients get some free eye drops. That's a semen joke. I'm not proud. Sell it for $40 if anybody wants to start a comedy career. It's getting bad out there, guys. I just had to open up a new bank account this week that I hope is going to help me save some money. It's a little bit different. Follow me on this. It's called a Just Checking account. Basically, anytime I need to buy something, I just call up the good folks at the bank, say, hey, I'm still broke, right? Just checking. Thanks. That joke's for all the 99%ers out there. And I'm using it to occupy this stage. Mic check. I don't know, guys. Do I come off like an unmotivated personality? Yeah? I am. No, I am. It's cool. I get it. You know, I deal with that. Like, I know I need little things to motivate me, get me through the day. You guys need your things. I need mine. Mine are death metal. Death metal. Because if you think it like death metal will motivate me to just do the simplest stuff around the house, just like easy stuff, like the dishes. You know, and if you think about it, like you listening to death metal, that's where you're going to get the most serious scrub, like the most intense, clean. And guys, I know we haven't practiced this, but could you kick me something kind of heavy? You know, why not, right? Because you can just be in the kitchen, like over the sink, and the bass drum's kicking, and the guitars are blaring. You know, and it's just do the dishes, 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 do the dishes. Soap and water, soap and water, the soap will kill bacteria. We are your bacteria. Do the dishes, do the dishes, do the dishes. Whoa. No, don't. Thank you. That takes too much out of me. But then everything has that nice satanic sparkle. That's great. All right, no punchlines. Okay. That does wind you. I smoke a pack a day. But it's not great for everything. It's good for driving down the street. You know, like that keeps me focused. You can just be in the car, drive between the lines, stop at the red lights, signal left and right, don't you text and drive, this is how you die. You know, and you're cruising. That's good. But guys, don't ever take your lady friend out to a date on fine death metal dining. Picture that. Pasta with red wine. Use a fork and knife. Napkin in your lap. Don't forget to tip. Guys, is that too much? On the whole, as a thing to do in front of a room full of people? I don't know, because I was really trying to use my comedy career to launch me to that platform of death metal stardom. And those last two songs are the same, by the way. If you guys didn't notice that. That first one was great, though. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I'll make it one day. I will. But until then, I write poetry. That's right. Here's one for the single ladies. These are haiku. Haiku, everybody. Don't disappoint me. I've spent a lot on this date. You better put out. Anybody ever work in retail? Food service? Oh yeah, this one's for you. Customer service. If it doesn't kill me soon, I'll kill someone else. Here's one for all the pot smokers. Stoner haiku. Haiku. Here we go. Shit. Thank you. Haiku. Now, I just want you all to remember, because I always remember, guys, it's on nights like these when I need to feel better about myself that I always like to remember. At the end of each and every day, it's 11:59 p.m. Thanks, guys, and Bobby Might.
Bobby Might, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Might. First death metal vocalization with accompaniment and without accompaniment on the Acme stage. Both kinds, both kinds. Ladies and gentlemen, my next comedian has written articles for Ranker.com that have been read over 2 million times. He was also in the movie Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. Did anybody see that? I didn't. I saw it, but I didn't see the comedian in it. So I went to IMDb. Have you guys ever been to IMDb? And like you learn interesting things about the movie. So I looked up Jack and Jill on IMDb, and I learned that Adam Sandler played both parts. He was Jack and Jill. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. When I saw it, I was like, huh. And then I was like, oh, it's Adam Sandler, both parts. It's a totally different movie. I didn't know it. If you knew that going in, then some of those jokes were pretty funny. But I don't know. I need to read more, I guess. Please welcome him to the stage, Ian TINDELL.
Hi guys, how are we doing tonight? Yeah? 3 of you are doing well, the others are like, fuck off. All right. The band, how are you guys doing tonight? You good? No one ever talks to you. All right, thank you very much. Let's just go ahead and get this out in the open, guys. I know what you're thinking, and it's true. I'm adorable. All right, I don't know where I am in my set anymore. Let me check real quick, guys. I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional. This couldn't possibly be planned. All right, let's see. Come out to raucous applause. Okay, kind of did that. Let's see. Banter with the band. That was banter. Did some improv at the top with you guys. Yeah, and then I pulled out my notes and started doing the bit I'm currently doing, period. Haha, I actually wrote the word period as well as the sentence that I'm currently reading, or actually I'm currently writing it, except when I read it on stage in the future, but of course as I'm reading it, it won't be the future anymore, it'll be the present, and this writing that I'm presently doing will be the past to be read in the future or the present. So in a way, I'm both writing in the present and reading in the present, even though I'm doing both at separate times. Holy shit, I just blew my mind. I think in a way I just invented time travel, period. This time I didn't write period. No, wait, I did, but when I read it in the future, and it goes on. This is a long notebook. I just went on with that. I've been thinking a lot about the future, guys. I'll tell you why, because I just saw Back to the Future, Part 2. Back to the Future Part 1 is a lie. They go to the past and then back to the present. Back to the Future Part 2 takes place in the year 2015. Did you guys know that? That is 3 years away. We are 3 years away from the future. Back to the Future Part 2. Do you guys remember what's in that movie? Cars are flying. The hologram, Jaws things are coming out and eating people. And the coolest thing ever, hoverboards. Right? Hoverboards. Like, you can't go off of water without power. Like, we We don't have that. We've got kind of a lame future. I'd feel bad if we had a time travel, come forward to this time, and we wouldn't have anything to brag about. We've got fatter kids, which is kind of like a superpower because they're harder to hurt, but that seems more like a problem than something positive. Yogurt is more available. That's it. That's all I came up with. Fat kids and yogurt. That's all we've got. I got to tell you, the not having the hoverboard has been one of the great disappointments of my life. Just that, banana-flavored candy, and my first sexual experience. Like, those three things are, like, supremely... Do you guys want me to get into the first fuck, I fucked up that joke. I was going to say, hey, you guys want me to get into that? And you were like, yeah, sure. And I'd be like, all right, banana-flavored candy. But then I started saying sexual things. All right, banana-flavored candy. Not sexual things. I could have just started talking about my penis up here, and that would have been a whole different... I'm getting off topic. Banana-flavored candy, guys. This is what I want to talk about, whether or not you guys want it or not. All right. It tastes like crap. It doesn't taste anything like banana. It's a vile substance, and I don't know. I just don't get like, hey, Bobby, I just invented a new flavor of candy. Why don't you try it? Oh my gosh, it tastes like poop. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna call it banana. That's banana flavored candy. Like, really? Okay, I know apple flavored candy tastes nothing like apple, and grape doesn't taste anything like grape, but neither one tastes like sin, which to me is what banana flavored. What I've got one guy's like, yeah, fuck banana flavored candy. Yeah, that does taste awful. Let's see. Let's get into this. My grandparents are douchebags. How about that? They're not douchebags per se. They just make me feel like a douchebag because I just went back and visited my grandparents for a little bit, and the one thing I just can't seem to do is I can't wake up early enough for them. Like, I'd wake up like 10, 11. Of course I'm gonna get crap for that. And so one day I was like, all right, I'm really gonna try. And I woke up at 8, which is insanely trying for me. That's really trying hard. And I woke up at 8, and I thinking that I was gonna get some praise. And I come out, and of course my grandparents are halfway through lunch. And my grandpa's getting ready for his nap, and he's like, oh, hey, look at Mr. L.A. waking up at all hours of the morning. Really? I beat the sun. The sun isn't even out yet. In the me versus God, I won, and I'm still gonna get crap for this. That's not an LA thing. That's just not being on the verge of death thing. That's what I feel terrible when I tell that joke. I will admit that because my grandparents are awesome people, and I'm in the will, and so it makes me feel weird. I think I know what's in the will too. It's just, in the event of our death, please send our grandson $4 and change on his birthday every year. Hey guys, all right. Do we have any pot smokers in the audience at all? Anyone that likes marijuana? No? Some people do. Come on. All right. We're in Los Angeles. We all have prescriptions for it. I came across an article that I just thought was funny, and it was about the. I guess there's a problem in the state parks here with pot being grown illegally in the forest. And so the article was how to identify a cultivation site, which leads me to my next question. How many of you like to identify marijuana cultivation sites? Raise a hands. No. All right. Well, if you didn't know it was fun, but it really is, and there's a checklist, and this is real, of how you can identify in your state park marijuana cultivation plant. All right, number 1. Sometimes marijuana smells like a skunk on a hot day. All right. I like the use of sometimes in there because marijuana is tricky. It can also smell like pine or moss or anything else that can naturally be found in the woods, like a skunk. So watch out for any naturally smelling things when you're in a state park. Hoses or drip lines located in unusual or unexpected places, as opposed to the hoses and drip lines in our forests located in usual and expected places. A well-used trail where there shouldn't be one. So that's all for you junior rangers out there who know where the trails in our state park should be. Grow sites are usually found in isolated locations or in rough, steep terrain. I don't really know how to check that one off. It's just where they are, which I looked up the definition of a forest, and it was an isolated location, sometimes with rough, steep terrain. So apparently just being in the forest is a check mark. And then the last one, and this is totally true, individuals armed with rifles out of hunting season. So in case you come across an individual with a rifle, you can take out your checklist and see if it smells like skunks or if they're drip lines or any bullshit like that. And then I added one else, which is you're in a field of pot. My name's Ian Tindell. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
Ian Tindell, guys, good news. The Grand Canyon, with its steep terrain and isolated location, is one big pot cultivation center. Right? By those definitions, also guarded by lots of people with a rifle. Lots of people in Arizona have rifles and are growing pot in the Grand Canyon. That's what I learned on the internet. Our next comedian has been warming up backstage, doing his stretches, and putting on his lucky show blazer. You've seen him in dozens of commercials, and he's performed all over town. Please welcome him here to Acme, Jeremiah Watkins.
Thought it was going to go a little bit longer. I was like, bam, 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 it. No, I don't want it now. Good grief. Keep it going for the band, guys. Keep it going for the band. Guys, I'm kind of like an ex-boyfriend. You're probably going to find better out there, but you're always going to remember me. That's what's going on. Guys, I'm jealous of guys who can just go up to women in public, like at a bar, and just compliment them. I'm jealous of those guys who can just walk up, strangers, ladies at a bar, say, "Hey, I think you're really pretty," and then just walk away. I'm jealous of those guys because I can't do that because I'm weird looking. Like if I do that, like if I walk up to ladies at a bar and I'm like, "Hey, I think you're really pretty," and then I walk away. The women are always like, "Becky, grab your purse. I think you tried to slip something in your drink on the way over here, Becky. He's trying to roof us, Becky. He's gonna rape us, Becky. We gotta get out of here. We gotta leave." Then they always jetpack away. I'm like, "Ladies, I just want to be friends." They're like, "Screw you, dick." Call that bit sluts with jetpacks. Anybody, nobody, thank you. It's all right. The pity laugh from the man. Sluts with jetpacks, huh? Have to remember that. Classy bit. You liked it, thank you. Guys, you ever see somebody who you're like, that person can take a dick? You know? You're just looking at them and you're like, whoa. They want it. They're like, "Give me that dick." Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. Give me that dick right here, right now. Anytime, any day, any night. You know the way I like it. Right there, right here, right now. Give me that dick right now. I see that all the time. It's just ridiculous, guys. It's just ridiculous. You guys like to party? I can tell. I went to a party recently, and you never know what kind of party you're going to get yourself into in Los Angeles. I walked in and it ended up being a cocaine party. And I'm a very jovial guy, as you can tell.
So whenever I walked in, I'm like, hey, everybody, how's it going? And everybody who's snorting coke, they turn their head, and then they just focus right in on my nose. And they're like, all right, who invited this guy? This is ridiculous. Like, they're looking at me like I'm Michael Jordan, and I just walked up to a rec basketball center, and I'm like, you guys want to play a pickup game or something? Like, I'm just going to swoop in and just be like, that was just a bump. Who's ready to party? Who's ready to get this thing going? It's like, yeah, get away from us. Guys, what happened to nice music? Music that makes you feel good on the inside? Music with good, fun, clean lyrics? They don't make music like that anymore. Like, you used to turn on the radio, and you'd hear something like this. I'm looking at my girl's beautiful face. When I'm with her, magic takes place. This girl is the light of my life. I think I might make her my wife. Doesn't that just make you feel good inside? And I respect women. You know? Like, unfortunately, lyrics have gone a little bit downhill over the years. Just a little bit. Like, you turn on the radio nowadays and you hear something like this. You know I'm looking for a slut. I want to get inside that butt. Spread those butt cheeks wide. So I can blow a load inside, side. Like, what happened to music in the last 50 years? Like, how do we go from the nicest sounding music to boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna buy her a wedding ring. I'm gonna get her in a gangbang. Boom, 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 boom. I'll propose underneath the waterfall. Boom, 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 boom. I need 2 girls, 1 for each ball. Boom, 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 boom. I like hoes. What happened to music, guys? That's my time, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Watkins. Thank you so much.
You know I'm looking for a slut. I wanna put it in a butt.
Jeremiah Watkins, ladies and gentlemen. That song is available for download if you want to make that your ringtone. Every time he calls. That song will play, and all of your friends will know you saw comedy at Acme. Yeah, times have changed. Dating's hard. Is anybody on online dating? Is anybody here doing online dating? Other comics have talked about it. Mainly comics are on the dating website. It's just, that's where I recruit all the comics. I just go online and say, hey, I have a comedy show. Then they come. But I'm wondering if any of you are on a dating site and then you're not admitting it right now because I've messaged you and you didn't respond, and now it's awkward because we're seeing each other face to face. Because chances are pretty good that that's happened. Because that happens a lot to me. I like message a girl, it's like, oh, 95% match. You say, hey, you wrote down books that I like, and then they ignore it. So I put this thing at the top as like, there's got to be something creepy in my profile, and that's like causing girls not to respond, right? So I say, hey, if I message you and you don't want to go out with me, that's fine. But just message me back and let me know what's in my profile that's weird, that's turning you off. Because I'm going to message other girls, right? So it's an altruistic effort on your part towards your fellow female to just let me know what's weird in my profile. Be like, hey, get pictures of you with some friends, not just you by yourself. Like, hey, don't list the news as your favorite TV show, you know? Just let me know what's weird. And so the next girl that I messaged, she said, hey, you want to know what's weird about your profile? Is you have this whole about the author preface asking what's creepy about your profile. That's what's weird about your profile. And I responded back to her, but it got you to respond, huh? And then she responded back to me, block this user. That's how that joke ends. I'll let you decide if that's true or not. Our final comedian of the night has opened for Bobby Lee. She's closing the Acme show tonight. Please welcome to the stage Jessica Michelle Singleton.
Wow, you guys are real great. Man, oh, I'm so excited to be here. I love doing comedy. My favorite thing about comedy is actually just getting to be surrounded by funny men, if I can just be honest with you guys. I've actually noticed that in my relationships, I will overlook significant flaws for a guy if they can make me laugh. Like maybe they're a little nerdy or a little fat, a little homeless, but they've got jokes. I think Marilyn Monroe said it best when she said, if you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything, except anal. Haven't met anybody that funny, but I'm here, so I haven't given up, you know? Just gotta keep trucking, butt trucking, that's what I call that. Man, that last comic, Jeremiah, he's like a nearly anal funny, right? Right, Min? Yeah, like, you know, tip of the finger, stinky pinky. Maybe a rim job if he's nice to me. I let him do that, but not full penetration. Yes. I know it's not too late for can it be too late for butt? Can you make love in the butt? Does that happen? I want to make love to you in your anus. That's not part of my material. I just have a lot on my mind right now, and all of it revolves around a butthole. Apparently, it's my safety net. I grew up in a state of depression. Most people call it Alaska. Yeah, it's a terrible place if you haven't been there. It just shouldn't really exist. And I don't even know why it's part of the United States. If you look at a map, it just like looks like America's tumor, just this big, ugly thing hanging off the side. It's like, I feel like Eisenhower was just like, well, we can't have more Canadians running around. You're like, yeah, grab that little gem. It's just, I didn't realize till I left Alaska that what's this normal standard in Alaska is severe white trash everywhere else. Like I got here and I was like, wait, you guys don't have sleeve tattoos and raised pit bulls? What? That's Steel Reserve 211 beer? What's going on? There's only two kinds of people in my hometown. There's people like me who get out as quickly as possible, and then there's everybody else who's like, hey, I can't read. I better have 7 babies. Like, oh, great, good, more of you. It's nice going home though. The one good thing is, like, in LA, I'm typecast as like really average girl, or like friend that's chubby and weird because I'm not a size 0, so they're like, you're huge. But in Alaska, I'm a 10. Like, people are like, remember that girl with the frizzy hair and no manners? She's coming home, so round up the troops. Which, like, it's really easy to be hot in Alaska, though, because if you have no kids and most of your teeth, you're already way ahead of everybody else. And there's also 4 guys for every girl in my hometown, which sounds appealing till you get there. And ladies, if you can just imagine the absolutely most disgusting man ever. Like, one eye, and he smells like cold hot dogs and urine. 4 of that are constantly revolving you everywhere you go. They're like, hey, you sure are pretty. And I know you're thinking like Southern accents. Yes, they have those there. Like, if I could rearrange the alphabet, if I knew it, I'd put myself inside of you. You're like, I don't think that's how is that the Keystone Ice talking? Or, I want to have your babies. And then they just throw up on your shoes and maybe try to get you pregnant. Who knows, you know? My mom likes to say, she says, the odds are good, but the goods are odd. Yeah. Which is just her way of coping with the fact that she married an illiterate mountain man who's missing appendages. Slim pickings when you look like Sasquatch, though. My mom's not exactly a dish. You know what I mean? She's heinous looking. She's got a great personality. She has to. She has let me just tell you, because if you saw her, you'd be like, oh yeah, she is ugly, it's okay. Because some people don't want to laugh at my mom. But she's just got this unkempt, like, white hair. Like, if you electrocuted a polar bear and then just, like, took the whole polar bear and put, like, a dead polar bear bouffant on your head. That's what her hair looks like. And she has this lazy eye. Well, it's not really a lazy eye, to be fair. It's probably anything but a lazy eye. It's, like, a really active eye. It's like, whoa, what's going on? Look, it's the Northern Lights. Like, you know those googly eyes you used in arts and crafts when you were a little kid? Yeah, hers is way worse than that. She kind of looks like Gary Busey. Yeah. Only a little less feminine, if that makes sense. So that's where I get my good looks. So, thanks, Ma. I was home recently, actually, and I ran into my ex-boyfriend, my first boyfriend from high school, literally, because he's in a wheelchair now, which is unfortunate. I feel really bad for him, actually, because now he's an asshole and he's in the way, because that sucks. Oh, boo-hoo. It's karma, trust me. He deserves this. No, but it's like, what is it about being in a wheelchair that makes people feel like they don't have to say, excuse me, right? You guys experience this? It's like, yeah, we get it. I had a lady honk at me in an electric wheelchair once on a horn. And then I turned around and she's like, yeah, I just put this horn on. And I'm like, you can talk? I was like, wait, your legs are broken, not your mouth. And yet you thought, oh, I'll honk at you. Like, really? That's what we're doing now? Just, like, I had to walk from the back of the parking lot. I didn't get the luxury VIP spot like you, ma'am, in the front. Who else can I harass? Fat people, huh? I'm mean to other people because I hate myself, so it's okay, you guys. I hate me more than any person in a wheelchair. I do a lot of self-deprecating material usually, and I'm trying to get away from it because I had a friend, and she's like, you know, you can't do that. There's nothing more unattractive than a cute girl with low self-esteem. And I was like, really? Because you're fat and way too confident. And nobody's fucking you, huh? Speaking of, let me get out of here, but, well, we're just hating fat people, because we all look really good, so it's okay. Adele, can we talk about her for a second? Because she is large. I heard her on Pandora Radio, like for the first, like I just heard her, and I literally was like, she's so talented. I ran out and bought her CD because I think I'm the only person who still buys CDs, but I did, and I was a little shocked when I saw the cover of her CD because I thought Adele was a beautiful black woman, and it turns out she's just what all beautiful black women hate, just a big fat white woman. Which isn't to take away from the fact that she's talented, but now every time I put her CD in, I think she's just singing about her struggle with weight loss. Okay, I turn it on, and she's like, never mind, I'll find someone like you. But I picture her standing outside of a bakery in the rain, and there's a sign, and it's like, no, Adele! And she's like, should I give up, or should I just keep eating bacon? There's a fire starting in my heart. Of course there's Adele. That's called heartburn. All right, I'm Jessica Michelle Singleton. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Jessica Michelle Singleton. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our final comedian. Thank you so much for coming out for the Comedy Nightcap. We'll be here again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Elemental P, take us out, guys. Good night.
Don't call it a listen to the bass go. That'll make you cool fucking cops. Don't you dare.